Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope you're all doing well. Rob Sabbas here from the tubebuddy team. Excited to be here. Still taking over the Instagram stories here over on the tubebuddy Instagram. Wanted to say hello, and I've got a special guest today. So we've got Scott, luxury window cleaning. Awesome. Got Kaden here. Kelvin Red. Awesome. Hello, hello. Let me know what questions do you have? I'm just typing this in. Do you have about YouTube and tubebuddy? Really? Okay, 1 second. I'm just typing this in. Okay? Let me know in the chat what questions do you have about YouTube and tubebuddy. All right? So fully involved media. Good to see you. Got a special guest today, guys. We're just trying to connect here. Anita, good to see you as well. Awesome. Congratulations on all the success on YouTube, Anita. So yeah, give us all the likes and stuff. I see Evan's here. So we're going to get Evan on here. So Evan, let me see. How do we do this? All right. Go live. All right. Got a special guest, guys. Oh, hey, Evan. Oh,
how you doing, man?
Good, man. How's the other side of Canada there on the East Coast?
Yeah, man. It's actually cold. It's an early fall for us. But anyway, grateful to be alive. Grateful to be doing YouTube. YouTube is blowing up for us. So happy to. I don't know what we're talking about, but YouTube, tubebuddy, and dude, I brought on. I think I must be tubebuddy's biggest power user. I've got 5 people on my team now.
Wow.
Just doing split tests.
No way. Really? 5?
Yeah, we've got like 30 people now on the team.
Wow.
And 5 of them are just doing split tests.
Incredible, man. I'm watching, I'm actually looking at your channel right here.
Okay.
There you go. 2.5 million subscribers, guys. No joke. Evan.
Guys, if you want one of those or one of those, you got to get tubebuddy. Yeah, not the Dorito bag. You got to get on tubebuddy.
That's awesome. Evan, amazing, man. Thanks for making time. I know you're a busy man. You've got a lot on the go. You got lots of employees, just projects and things. So just wanted to bring you on, and they've let me take over the Instagram stories for the week. So I'm just bringing on a bunch of different friends. So just answering questions. So for those of you, for whatever reason, for those of the people out there that don't know who you are, why don't you say a little introduction about who you are, Evan? And then we'll jump into questions.
Entrepreneur, YouTuber for 11 years. In my first 5 years of YouTube, I got 7,000 subscribers. 5 years of uploading videos. And then the next 5 years, I got from 7,000 to 2 million. I wish 5 million to 2 million. Now we're like 2.5, helping entrepreneurs. And I'm a huge tubebuddy user, especially for the split testing. I love when you get, especially when you get the bigger, you get a team, and as you get, your channel grows and you got lots more videos, just the amount of features that it saves us crazy amount of time on is huge. And I've been on tubebuddy for a while. I've been on for like a couple years. I don't know when you guys started, but it's been definitely a while. Phil, before you were on the team, like
way before,
yeah, just Phil. And anyway. Is this not going to my audience? Like, why is my audience? Do I have to turn something on to get this to my audience too?
I don't know how that works, man. I'm not too familiar with Instagram Live. So if you guys let us know how we can get this in front of Evan's audience. But Evan, I've got questions. And if you guys have questions for Evan, please let us know in the chat. Evan, there's lots of new creators here that are joining us. I can tell by the milestones they're sharing. So the closest thing right now, top of your head, advice for somebody starting it on YouTube, under 1,000 subscribers. What should they drop right now and just really focus on?
I think one, expect to suck. Like just expect to suck. You're gonna upload your video, or a lot of people don't even make it public. They upload it unlisted. They look back and it's like, oh man, that sucks. I suck. And you notice all the things where it's just you feel terrible about, and then you don't post it. This is why a lot of people never went. Like, you can go back and watch my first video. It's still on the channel from 11 years ago, and it makes me cringe when I look back. But if you go look at anybody's first video, anybody, Tim Schmoyer, Daryl Leaves, like all the guys, all the tubebuddy users, they all suck. And And I think that's okay. Like you're supposed to suck. It doesn't mean you suck as a human. It just means you don't have the skill set yet. And how do you get the skill set? Well, by practicing and doing the work, you know? So one, expect to suck, and that's okay. Like that's how you learn anything. You don't just get on a skateboard and just start riding. You know, you're gonna fall off a whole bunch of times. Two, I would say really focus in on what do you want to get great at. And I deal with a lot of experts, business, consultants, coaches, thought leaders, and they're so caught up on the gear and the editing. And if you are an editor, it's super important for you to know that stuff. If you're not, what most people end up doing, I look at experts and speakers, they'll spend 20 minutes recording the video and then 4 hours editing it. You end up training the wrong skill. Like if your ambitions are not to be a great editor, you want to be a speaker or a coach or a consultant or a thought leader, you need to flip it and spend 4 hours practicing making good content, videos, and then 20 minutes editing it. So I think a lot of people spend time on the wrong thing, and then it gets really discouraging, and then they don't get the momentum. Like the biggest thing missing is just momentum. I see so many small creators with like the heart, like the heart to make good stuff and to try to help people and to teach people, and they just don't have enough momentum yet. So anyway, I'm glad you guys do what you do and all the live streams and all the help. Like I wish you guys were. I would have consumed everything. I try to pop in when I can, but I know you do. I try to consume. I would have consumed all of it because I needed the help when I was getting started too.
I love that. Question about business and money, monetizing. Yep. Obviously, people want to get into like a partnership program, but how early in your YouTube journey should you start thinking about monetization, affiliates and all that sort of stuff?
I think it's good to have a plan. I think money, people have a weird view on money. Some people think money is everything, and it's the only thing that matters. And like that, every 1,000 views, that can get me X, Y, Z. And other people think money is the root of all, evil and it's bad.
Yeah.
Money is really important. It just can't be number one. So I think money needs to be in your top 5 list of priorities. If you're an entrepreneur, like if you want to make this into a business and have this be your full-time thing, you have to care about money. It just can't be the only reason. Like if you're only getting into YouTube to make money, it's going to be a problem. You have to have the core, the love, the heart behind it. But I don't think it's ever too soon to think about making money. Like I think that becomes your responsibility. That can get you from taking 3 years to turn it into a full-time thing to get into 6 months or 12 months because you've got a plan. The plan may not work out at the beginning, the plan will take you longer probably than you think it's going to take, just like everything else. But thinking about how to monetize, even right from the start, I think is a really good thing.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. So start from the very beginning, think about monetization. What about the source of views? People are like, I'm focusing on search. I'm focusing on, suggested and all this stuff. Like, where do you put your attention to these days when it comes to that? Like, do you focus on search or recommended? Like, are you intentionally creating content or optimizing for certain things?
Yeah, we're all about suggested and browse.
Suggested and browse.
Like,
that's it.
0 on search. And maybe that I'm different than most of the experts and stuff coming on. But most views that go through YouTube, even though YouTube is the 2nd largest search engine, most of the views don't come from search. Even if you think about your own experience, if you're searching for something, it might start with search and you go and you type in something, but then you'll end up watching 1 video from search and then 4, 5, 8 videos from the recommended. So the game to play is recommended, 1,000%. And here's a hack to do it. For any small creators out there, look for whatever search term. Like, is there anybody who you recognize in the chat who's got a channel that like we could kind of brainstorm on?
Let's go with Anita Wong. I see Anita Wong here, a good friend of mine. So she talks about social media, different updates on social, Facebook and Instagram. So that's kind of her space.
Great. So I would go to YouTube, and I'm sure like TubeBuddy's got a whole bunch of tools around here too. But I would go and I would look at your keywords. So social media 2020 strategy, something like that. And then you see what videos pop up. And then specifically, I don't care about ranking for that keyword at all. What I care about is ranking after the videos that rank for that keyword. I want them to watch somebody else's video, and then I want them to watch Anita. Is it Anita?
Yep, Anita.
Anita?
Yep.
Yeah, Anita. I want them to watch Anita's video right after. So how you do that is you start looking at videos that have. I don't people talk. Maybe I'm just missing it. Like somebody talks about.
No, this is great.
What
man.
we
I wanna
look
hear
for
this. Yeah.
specifically, like for small channels, here's what you need to look for. Look for videos that show up on that page that have more views on the video than subscribers of the channel. More views on the video than subscribers on the channel. So you might look at a video and say, that video's got 10,000 views. Wow, what a great video. I should make that topic. But if that video is on a channel that has 1 million subscribers, 10,000 views is not going to be one of their best videos. What you want is the channel that has 400 subscribers and the video got 10,000 views. Because now you know that that topic is something that is punching way above the weight. Like that channel with X hundred subscribers shouldn't have a video with 10,000 views. That's probably one of their best videos. So that's a topic that you can win at. So my goal is then to find the title that worked for that video. Like how did they call it? So your keyword might have been how to win 2020 social media strategy something. But then you see how they called it, like the 8 hidden Instagram tactics for 2020 or something, right? I would make a video. Anita should make that video with almost the exact same title because you want to rank after that original video. Now, I don't care what's in the video. Like, I don't care what their 8 ways are. I care about Anita. Anita's the expert. Anita's a superstar. She can make an awesome video on that topic. Anita's main goal is to show up after that video on topics that you know are crushing for small channels. That's how I would use it.
I like it. I've never heard that. I've never heard that. So go for videos or topics that have more views than subscribers on that channel. I mean, I look at my own channel, my personal channel, there's a number of videos like that. They're like, why do you have so many views? Way more than my actual subscriber count. So yeah, that's great, man. That's great.
And then step 2 is you go to that person's channel and then you sort by what their most popular videos are. And there's probably 5 to 7 videos that all did more views and subscribers. And so now I want to make videos on those things as well. As a small channel, right? Like I'm slightly different. I don't do this now because we've got a certain size. But for I've helped a lot of small channels build and grow using this exact strategy. And when you go to that person's page and you see they have 5 different videos, those are all killer topics that as long as you can authentically say something about, like if their number 2 video is about TikTok, but Anita maybe doesn't know TikTok. Okay, don't go make a TikTok video, right? Like it's got to fall into your area of expertise, just authentically and be able to give value. But as long as you feel like you can give a lot of good value, again, I don't want Anita to even watch that video. I don't care what's in that video. I think Anita's got the 8 strategies that can win. Yeah. And we just know that that's a winning topic.
That's great. That's great. Now, on that note, there's a lot of people here that create those list type videos. How important is that number? 8, 5 tips, 3 tips that comes before the actual sort of keyword itself? Do you think that that's important? Is there a good sort of best practice there? 3 tips versus 8, what are your thoughts there, Evan?
Yeah, and I'm just quickly looking at the chat. Anita says, OMG, this is great, thank you. And Suki says, that's how I grew to 11,000 very quickly, right? And that's a big number for people, right? 11,000 subs is not it's not a small deal. You're not getting your silver plaque yet, but this is how you can quickly level up your channel and get subscribers. So yeah, immediately, if you're a thought leader expert, it may not work as well for animation channels, although I would still look at it. But for any kind of thought leader expert videos, it's killer. To your point about numbers, we haven't had a ton of success with anything under 5.
Okay.
If it's 3 or 2, it just, people don't think it's enough.
It's not enough.
So I don't know. We just haven't proven it, but I'd love to see data. I love data driven. This is why I love tubebuddy is you get data it tells you, and you don't have to go through each video one at a time to get the results.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anything over, we haven't played a ton with over, like we do a lot on 10, like top 10 for something. We've done higher. We've done top 50. But we haven't tested every single number in between. Like I can't tell you that 28, that's the magic number, man. It's top 28.
But basically not too low, not like 2 or 3. Like people want some like meat. They want some like, you know, something a little more. But that's good. That's good. There's somebody here, Ty Mall's asking, can we do Q&A? This is completely Q&A. So if you guys have any questions for Evan, 2.5 million subscribers, been on YouTube for years, probably what, over a decade now, Evan? How long have you been on YouTube?
April 2009 was my first video. So 11 and a half years. Yeah.
11 and a half years. So
a lot. Yeah.
No, it's awesome, man. Yeah. So yeah, ask your questions, ask all of your questions, and we'll dive into it. Now, I want you guys, you have an entire team. So Evan, you are uploading daily, it looks like. So thoughts on the frequency of uploading? Smaller channel, as you get bigger, is that something you guys are paying attention to? I'm sure it is. You guys are very data driven. What's your thoughts around that?
Yeah, we do daily on at least 3 channels. We've got 12 or so different channels. But listen, again, I have a team, right? It's definitely not me doing everything myself. I think the thing that people misunderstand, especially at the early stages of a YouTube career, is the quantity leads to the quality.
Nice.
People think like quality or quality. The quantity leads to the quality. Like the more you do, the better you're going to get at it. And so I want people to produce as much as possible just to get the reps in, to get better at the skill. Because if this is your dream, like you want to be great at this, you want to be world class at being the social media expert on YouTube or the whatever. Like there's so many great people with great ideas and great knowledge, and it's crazy to see what people are experts on, like everything on YouTube, you know. But if you're practicing it once a week, you're just never going to get really good at it. You know, Jordan didn't go to the gym once a week. And so you have to put time in your calendar to say, this is important for me to get really good at it, and make sure, again, you're practicing the right thing. So like the example, like Anita needs to be practicing being better on camera, not being better at editing, because her ambitions are to be better on camera. And these are skills that serve you for life. Like if Anita keeps building and growing and getting better, that leads to speaking opportunities, that leads to PR opportunities, that leads to her doing keynotes, that leads to her being guests on people's shows, where everything I've gotten in my like personal brand business, from 2 book deals and being flown around the world to do speaking gigs, like it's all from my YouTube channel. And the more you practice the skill of being a good communicator and speaker, the more that's going to open up so many other worlds for you outside of just ranking for YouTube videos, but only if you're training the right skill, right? If I spent all that time training to be an editor, I'd be a mediocre editor and I'd never get good at speaking. So I like throwing a lot out at the beginning. Nobody's watching anyway, so don't freak out, and get better at the skill. So the quantity leads to the quality. Ultimately, it's both. Like ultimately, it's going to be both. If you can produce, like if you're at once a week now and you can produce it at 80% quality twice a week, I think you're going to grow. If it's 20% quality twice a week, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
Right. But if you can drop quality just a little bit and double your production, you can get way more. You'll get way more results on YouTube. You know, Mr. Beast says, I don't know what he's doing once a week. Like if he dropped 20% quality and did twice a week, he'd grow even faster. Now, he may not be able to drop 20%. Maybe going twice a week is now 50% quality. Or maybe that leads to burnout for him and he can't stay, you know, consistent on it. That's all factors to consider. But especially at the beginning, the quantity leads to the quality. The more you do, the better you get at it. So my first video took me 2 days to make. And now I can make 20 videos in a day. Like my part, not all the editing and everything. But it's because I got better at the skill.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I totally agree. You know, just jump in. The more you create, the better you get at it, and leads to quality. I love that. It's really good. I am Kelvin Red is asking, how can I have high SEO but no views? So I'm assuming, Kelvin, that your videos are ranking. That you're showing that you're ranking. You're getting impressions, but maybe no views. So that's probably a thing with a thumbnail. What's your thoughts, Evan?
He's getting his videos to show up, but he's
Yeah.
not getting any views on it.
He's getting high SEO, but no views, it looks like. Kelvin Red.
I would really look at if that's consistently happening. It sounds like you're just logged in as yourself. Like go incognito mode and actually see where you're showing up. Because if I go to my channel and I type in Evan Carmichael, I'm going to be all over the place because it's, I mean, I would still rank pretty well anyway because of my channel size. But a lot of people think they're ranking well because they're logged in as themselves. Where if you go incognito mode, you can actually see a better picture. It's still going to be based on your geography and everything else, but you get a much better picture. Yeah, or YouTube could be like playing around and just giving you some impressions, but ultimately it's going to come down to having a better thumbnail and title.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. Hopefully.
At the end of the day, it's going to be, there's all three things that YouTube cares about. Your click-through rate, which is your thumbnail and title, right? To get people to watch the video, right? Just to click on it. Then the audience retention. How much are you keeping people? And the only thing I care about, and this is where I'm different than other guys too, so like you take from whoever you like that works for you. The only thing I care about, I don't care about 50% audience retention at the end of one video. I think it's a garbage metric because if it's an hour-long video, there's no way you're going to get 50%. Yeah. And if it's a 4-minute video, that's probably not a good enough number. 70% at 1 minute for videos with at least 8 to 10 minutes. So 70%. Every video we put up is at least 10 minutes typically, unless like we don't force it. If we can't get there, we don't, but we always try to find a ways to get to 10 if we can. And then 70%. If you can get 70% retention, absolute audience retention at 1 minute consistently, that's super tough. Like nobody can do that. If you can get that or close to it, your videos will blow up. And so inside TubeBuddy, there's the retention analyzer tool, which everybody should check out, which I had Phil build, which is great. The A/B split testing and the retention analyzers, because I bugged Phil every day, like, Phil, I need this, Phil, I need this. I don't know what package, like what package do they have to be on? I know the split testing is the highest.
Legend plan, yeah. I believe both of them, Legend plan, yeah.
Same thing, okay.
The highest one. Yeah.
It's so worth it, guys. How much is Legend? 50 bucks?
$50 a month, yeah.
It's so worth it. What it will do is it'll show you for your last, I forget how many videos, at different time points, what your percent audience retention is. And I only care about 1 minute, and you can sort them, and it'll show you this video did 72%, and this video did 31%. Like that 31% video, no matter how much you tweak your thumbnails and titles, like you're not going to save that video because the video itself isn't good enough because you lost too many people. And this is something people don't pay enough attention to, because you could spend so much time making a 20-minute awesome video, but if you've lost 70% of them in the first minute, the video's dead. Yeah. So if you use it, and you can go one by one, you can do it for free inside YouTube, go one by one and look at them, but TubeBuddy just saves a kick-ass amount of time. So use a retention analyzer and it'll show you which one is the best, and then, oh, what works so well in this video that I got 72%, and then how can you model that to make better videos? So click-through rate, audience retention at 1 minute, and then just frequency of upload. Like the more you upload, the better your shot is of getting people to see your videos on YouTube to promote you. So there's a lot of expert, advanced, all sorts of stuff, but like that's all that really matters. What's your click-through rate? What's your audience retention? And how often are you uploading?
I love that. I love that. Anita saying, this is so awesome. Thank you. This is great. This is a question I get asked a lot when I go on podcasts and live stream interviews. Is it too late to start on YouTube in 2020? Like, what do you ask when people ask you, like, Evan, is it too late? Am I too late to the party? There's already too many people like creating in my space. So many videos out there, bigger creators. What's your thoughts?
There's always room for quality at the top. So if it's good, you can always win. You have to kind of make a choice of you can be early on the next thing and then just be the first to places, but at some point it always moves to quality. So are you going to be the person who then is the first on the next platform, but then as soon as people need quality, then you're going to bounce to the next thing and never actually build something sustainable? If you're good at what you do and you have knowledge to share, it's super early. Like, it's so super early. I'm trying to push a lot of my contemporaries in kind of the business speaker, personal development world to get on YouTube, because there's still a lack of quality content. And people have seen what Gary Vee has done and Grant Cardone has done, and there's not that many. Like, even look at business development and personal development people. Who is crushing it on YouTube? Gary and Grant and Tom Bilyeu and Valuetainment, and there's like 7 people. There's nothing compared to how many people have YouTube accounts that are looking for information to help them grow. It's crazy. And especially if you can create content that's evergreen, where it just lasts forever. So a good if it's entertaining, that will keep people, laughing even in 5 years, or educational. Like, Anita's content would be a little more challenging because Instagram updates for 2020, in 2022, nobody really cares about the 2020 updates. So I was thinking, how do I have more evergreen content? But it could be how to be comfortable in front of the camera. That's still going to be relevant in 10 years. And so this is why YouTube is the best social media platform, because it's the only place where your content lives forever. Where the videos you up now, videos I uploaded 5 years ago, 10 years ago, are still getting me views now. That doesn't exist on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. Like, a week ago, nobody cares about what you posted on Instagram. That's why it's Instagram. But if you think about that and you think, hey, I'm making content to build my brand, my legacy for years to come, it can shift the content direction a little bit. It can shift the topics that you talk about and lead to a lot more long-term success for your business and your brand.
Yeah, that's something. I mean, it's good that you mentioned that, actually, longevity and shelf life for your content, because I talk to a lot of people that create tutorial content, and that's one of the fears, that they become this sort of utility resource channel, that their content may not be evergreen, and so how do you kind of advise people, because I've noticed that on your channel, you are not specifically talking about how to do YouTube specifically. There's a lot of motivational, sort of more like evergreen content that 5 years from now is still very relevant, 10 years from now is still relevant. So what's your advice there for people that are creating more tutorial type content that's maybe specific to a tool or a product?
You split it. You just have a content calendar where you have some that are timely, that are specific, that are like, hey, new features. Like, have you seen YouTube's new editor feature?
Yep. Yeah.
So, like, that's a new feature. That's pretty cool, right? And so I'm assigning editors and managers, and like, it's pretty new, which is awesome. So a video on that, and you guys do a great job of always talking about like timely stuff that's happening and live stream breakdowns and stuff, which is great. But then also having some of your content be your hero content that is more evergreen. Things like, how do I come up with content for my channel? It's still going to be relevant. Like, the strategies are still going to be relevant in a year, 2 years, 5 years. And so you have a series of videos that is more forever, that people can discover you for, while still talking about kind of trending new stuff. You could go all news, but then you're on this rat race. You're like on the hamster treadmill. If you stop making content, you're irrelevant. And where a lot of people actually make the mistake, if you're an expert like Anita is, and I'm sure a lot of people watching too, YouTube you want to think of as the beginner, entry level, most basic questions, because that's the biggest market. Like, how do I get started on social media? Is a great video. Like, that's where most people are at. But the advanced stuff, like what I just shared, the strategy at the beginning of this, where I said, go look at videos,
Yep.
that have more views and subscribers, and then go like that's too detailed for most people.
Yep.
Somebody who's just getting started on YouTube, it's a harder concept to understand. But those advanced strategies, people try to make advanced strategy videos and then they wonder why they tank. It's because you don't have enough of a base, and it's not your fault. It's just there's not enough people in the world who care about the advanced stuff. But those people care a lot about it, and they're willing to pay you for it. Like, this is where you start to charge for your services. So the beginner stuff is free and YouTube, and that gets your name out there. But then people will want access to you to say, hey, can you coach me? I need more advanced help than what you're sharing on your channel. Like, I grew up with that. Awesome. Now I have a business and I'm ready to take it to the next step. That's where your coaching comes in. That's when your training programs come in. That's when your workshops come in, your e-course or e-book come in. And so thinking that can, if you've got people watching the videos, but then they want more access to you, who's the expert.
I love that. I love that. On that note then, where do you cut off? You know, if you're building courses, I know Anita is here. She's got a course, I think, that she's building on. Like, where do you sort of cut off your free content between your free and paid content?
Where you know that the video would just not do well on YouTube. You know, like you have a core audience. I think the beginners are on YouTube, and it's a mass audience, and that's getting your brand and your platform out there. And then the more advanced stuff, and also just bringing it all together in one place, so people don't have to go watch multiple videos. That's where you start to think about course material, and also access. So inside a lot of the courses are also built-in memberships, where once a month they get to get on a Facebook Live with you, or YouTube Live with you, or group call to actually ask you questions, right? Like, you're learning from this. If you could learn from Anita, great in all her materials, but then once a month she'll take your questions live, and you can ask her specifically what's going on to get advice from. That's where it starts to bring real value. People will pay for the access.
The access, pay for the access. Awesome. It could be the same content, just that it's real time, that they have access to you, that they will pay for that. That's great. There's some questions being submitted in here. How much is too much to upload weekly? I've been uploading 3 times a week, but would like to upload more. At what point? Do you look at analytics for that? Do you just pay attention to your engagement? Yeah.
I wouldn't be afraid to go daily. After daily, then I'd really pay attention to the series. So I went from anywhere from once a month to 3 times a day on my channel. Wow. 3 times a day. Full length, like, series videos, right? Now, again, I have a team, but,
you have a team.
But I have a team, but I pay attention to the data. So what we did was, after, and this is because YouTube algorithms really changed, where when I went from one a month to one a week, I saw a big growth. When I went from 1 a week to twice a week, another big growth. When I went from twice a week to once a day, big growth. Once a day to twice a day, decent growth. Twice a day to 3 times a day, not much growth. And so, like, between the 2 to 3 times a day, we didn't then say, well, let's go 4 times a day or 5 times a day or 6 times a day, right? Because I could scale up a team. I could have just merged all my channels together and be at 7 videos a day, right? It just doesn't work with YouTube's algorithm right now. So we split them up. So what I would recommend doing is, if you're at 3 a week, you're fine. That's not a problem at all. I would easily go to once a day. If again, you can maintain like 80% quality in the videos as you're doing it. Don't just throw videos up that are crap. But don't worry about them all being perfect either, right? 80% quality. And then what I would do, and this is what we actually do, is one of the 7 is a test spot. So we're going to test a new idea. We're going to test, if it's Anita, we're going to test an Instagram breakdown series, where I'm going to look at somebody's Instagram account and break down what I think and give them feedback and tips and suggestions. And that's a video. And I would run that for 3 weeks. So 3 versions of it for 3 weeks. And then we start to look at how well did that video do. Did it have... it's basically just watch time and subs gained. Did I gain subs from this series for those 3 videos, and did it lead to good watch time compared to what my average videos would do on those videos? If it's yes, we keep it. If it's no, then we look like, can we tweak it? is there something we can fix inside them, or we just kill the series? And one spot out of the 7 being the test spot to always then try to beat the other 6. And if this test doesn't work, and most of my tests now don't work, that's fine. That's part of the process. Then every 3 weeks is okay. New test. What's our new test?
Gotcha. I like that. I like that. So just keep on scaling it up if you can with the quality, 80% quality. I think that's really important. Anita has a question here. YouTube has been showing short videos that aren't on stories. Do you recommend we do shorter videos so we can feature?
I haven't seen enough of an uplift on it. Now I haven't done a ton of testing either. We'll see what ends up happening with it. Historically, super short videos tank, like super hard. Unless you're like music video, because people refresh it, like they're repeating the video, they're replaying it, and they're sharing it. Most, thought leadership expert, even animation kind of videos, you're not, you might love what Rob's telling you, but you're not rewinding it 10 times a day to listen to it, on repeat. So it's a new thing that YouTube is starting to showcase. I don't know how long it's going to last. So we haven't played a ton in that area. I'm not betting on it. If anything, all I've seen is longer. Like longer videos are working even better. We're trying to go hour and a half to 3 hour videos in some cases.
Wow.
Because we're seeing huge uplift on longer videos, way more than we're seeing results with short videos.
Amazing, amazing. There you go, Anita. Hopefully that answers the question. Global Kid Media. YouTube uses a horizontal format, which is a problem for me as I take vertical videos, which work with Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, but not YouTube, which puts the bars on the side. Which is, I mean, that's just how YouTube works. But you can see if you're watching on mobile, it will show up as vertical, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, you could be the vertical guy and force people to watch it, but I would try to play more in the, like, make a version. Like my videos, I make a version for YouTube and I make a version for Instagram. So if you want to really take YouTube seriously, then make a version for YouTube.
Yep. There you go. There you go. All right, Evan, I want to respect your time. Let's take a couple more really quick questions here.
This is fun, dude. I like it. How long have you been doing this? Just this week?
You know what? I took it over last 2-3 days. So I had.
We need you to take it over more often. This is great, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun, man. Yeah, it's really cool to connect with everyone here on Instagram. There's a question, Evan. I don't know if you want to speak into this, but somebody's wondering how to grow a gaming channel. The specific niche of gaming. Any advice on gamers?
So first you got to decide, are you going to be streaming or are you going to be doing VODs, right? A streaming channel is hard at the start because the streaming hours don't count for your qualification into partner program and unlocking all of the bonuses and the super chats and all that stuff. So that sucks. Like you're streaming 3 hours, 8 hours, and none of that counts. It's only the replay stuff. And most replays suck. Like you're not going to get a lot of views on the replays because it's the live experience. So if you're going to do streaming, just be patient that it's going to take you a little bit of time to start building up the audience and getting those watch hours to be able to qualify. If you're doing VODs, and you got to think, what are you going to be great at? So if you're taking a stream and you're turning into VODs, or you're making videos just for VODs, are you going to be talking about the meta shift? Like I like League of Legends. So Worlds is coming up right now in League. I sponsor an esports athlete in League of Legends, who's one of the best Teemo players in the world for anybody who plays League. So he'll make videos just for the new meta, like how to play this character with this crazy build. And so it's something fun to watch. Or his thoughts on the new patch changes that came out, right? So are you a high-level player? Like, am I going to be impressed by watching you play? Manco, the guy I invest in, it's like, yeah, he can do some sick moves. Watch Evan Carmichael play League of Legends is not high-level stuff. I'm a silver player. I'm average. So So are they coming for the high level gameplay? Are they coming for your education, how you're training them? Are they coming for the entertainment? You're just super funny to watch and you do crazy things. What's the reason they're going to come to watch your channel? And then making an edited VOD around that, because most streams don't work well as a VOD. And they can coexist. Like you can be doing streaming and get some, once you get partner program and super chat and all that, you can start making some money from your stream and clip the best moments and have a little moment where you're talking about the meta change, and then that becomes a VOD on the channel. Yeah.
There you go. Hopefully that answers your question. There's another one here from Suki. We'd love to do some Tom Bilyeu type content, but don't have the credibility he does. Will people still care to watch?
So Tom Bilyeu, I guess, like, how do we take this? Tom Bilyeu does mostly interviews. Is that what you're talking about? Like, you want to get people. Okay, so the way to hack interviews, this is also something nobody talks about. Okay, since we're on Instagram, this is great too.
Yeah, that's great.
So you think about who's the first off, look at your followers. Maybe there's somebody who you know would be a good story, right? Like if Rob's following you, great. Like, Rob, maybe Rob will be willing to do interview with you for your channel. But then the hack becomes you look at who's following Rob on Instagram. Who's following Rob? Or who's following I'm following tubebuddy. Maybe somebody else is following tubebuddy. And then what you do is you DM them to say, hey, I just had Rob on my channel to do an interview. Would you consider coming on doing an interview as well? And normally they may not give you the time of day because they don't recognize you. But, oh, you had Rob on? Rob said yes to that? Huh, okay. Now I'll consider it because it's got Rob's blessing. If Rob thinks you're cool, then I think you're cool.
Yeah.
And so you start to break down, like if you want to have Tom Bilyeu on your channel, right? So Tom Bilyeu follows a whole bunch of people. Tom Bilyeu follows me, and he follows lots of other people. I'm an easier get than Tom Bilyeu is. So this is the path. It's like, okay, I want to get to Tom Bilyeu. I'm going to start with this person, right? And then we're going to go here, and then I'm going to ask Evan, and he's going to recognize, and then I'm going to ask Tom. And my name may not be enough to get Tom on your show, but you look at other people who Tom is also following, and a lot of those people are going to be surprisingly easy to get. Some of them may be hard, like maybe he's following Tony Robbins, maybe he's following the president, maybe he's following like Oprah, people who you're not going to get. But he's following a whole bunch of other people that nobody knows of that also have a cool story, that if you get them on your show and you've got 4, 5, 6 of these people, and then you go to Tom and say, I got these people, it's like, oh my God, all these people that I love all went on her show, I want to get on too. So that's how you hack your way up to getting great guests on your interview show.
Love that. I love that. That's actually the tip that I'm going to take because that's awesome. That's awesome. There you go, guys. Again, Evan, I appreciate your time, man. I want to make sure I respect your time. It's Friday. You've got a lot of things to do. What's a message you just want to end off and share with our TubeBuddy community here on Instagram? This is going to be, guys, by the way, you guys can watch the replay. I'm going to watch the replay because Evan just dropped a ton of knowledge here. I actually got some DMs. I'm looking up here. Got some DMs from people saying, you better save this replay. So we're going to save this. So Evan, any final words of wisdom to share with our YouTube creator community?
Well, one for you guys, I would save these and put them to YouTube. This is what we do. This is what I do personally. Like on Monday, I did a IG live with Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank.
Wow. Nice.
And we're Instagram's like this, and we're going to cut it sideways. So like I'm on one side, Kevin's on the other side, and edit some of the things out. But then that's a YouTube video, right? So a lot of this stuff for anybody watching, you can have an IG live show that then also don't just save it on Instagram. You're wasting a lot of opportunity. Put that up as a YouTube video to build your channel as well. But my message for everybody watching would be just like create, like get rid of the impediments to creating, whether you think you're not good enough or you don't have the gear or it's a Friday or whatever. Like look at the rest of the day and say, I want to make something. I want to create something today that I'm proud of myself for. That I took the energy. Hopefully you got a little bit of energy from this if you're still sticking around. That you took the energy from this and you're going to go do something to make your channel better. Whether you end up watching my channel or not, whether you buy TubeBuddy or not, I think you should because it's fantastic. But even if you don't, like, go make something. Go make something today that you're proud of, that you wanna one day show your grandkids. And if you took that mindset every day, it's like, I want to make something today that I'm going to show my grandkids. You may not always make something amazing, but if that was your intent every day, you're going to create a lot of amazing things.
I love it. I love it. Evan, that's awesome, man. Again, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Evan, thank you, man. I know you're busy. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your sharing. So generous with your wisdom and your time. And we'll see you very soon. Thanks for the
and like we need. It's great not just to see Andrew Ken on the channel now, right? Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah. We'll do this. No, it's awesome. Thank you so much, man. Notes all taken, ready to go. Repurpose this for YouTube. So gonna work on that.
Cool, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, everyone. We'll talk to you soon.